Button.
I like Doug Woodson.
Okay, go ahead.
Take a picture of yourself.
So my mini presentation is going to be on the book Missoula by John Krakauer, and I'm going to focus today specifically on his use of flashbacks. That's the literary term I'm going to focus on. So my first example happens in chapter 10. Starts out with, in late 2013, 2 years after Caitlin Kelly was raped by Calvin Smith, she told me that she couldn't help thinking about women Smith might have subsequently raped as well. Once a rapist, always a rapist, Kelly said. He's going to do it again if he hasn't already. The next paragraph flashes back. Research by David Lissack suggests that Barrett's and Kelly's concerns about their assailants are not unfounded. In the 1980s, when Lissack was studying rape as a graduate student at Duke University, almost all the research at the time had been done on men in prison who had been convicted of raping strangers. It showed an alarming tendency among the incarcerated rapists to commit multiple acts of sexual violence. So he uses the flashback of this research to confirm what Caitlin Kelly had affirmed up here. And I thought that was a really valuable use of flashback. Next slide. Another example from the same chapter. President Engstrom, the president of the University of Montana at the time, agreed with counsel David Aronofsky that the university did the right thing by not reporting the February 10th rape to Missoula law enforcement officials. As required by federal law, he told Florio, who is the author of an article in the local newspaper about this particular rape, the university cannot and did not release the names of the alleged victims or perpetrators to police. The accuracy of this statement, however, is questionable. Federal law, Montana, and the university policy concerning sexual assault and the privacy of victims and perpetrators are confusing at best and in some regards contradictory. The following paragraph has a flashback which questions President Engstrom's motivations and actions. According to the 2010 Dear Colleague letter issued by the U.S. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights, as soon as school has notice of sexual assault, it should take immediate steps to investigate or otherwise determine what occurred and take prompt and effective steps to prevent its occurrence as appropriate remedy its effects. So I have a typo. So in this following paragraph, this document, the 2011 Dear Colleague letter, questions what the president did and calls into question his motivations for keeping material private from the local police. And I felt like this is a great, having this flashback right next to this paragraph does a great job of questioning his actions. Next slide, please. So here's my analysis. Krakauer, the author, uses flashback very effectively. As I read his book, it's almost like he's reading my mind and provides valuable information about the content he's presenting when I need it presented. By using flashback and not telling the story in a completely linear fashion, he's putting me in the role of investigative reporter, but without all the work, to which I find important, relevant information to help me come to a conclusion without the effort of cross-referencing around the book to put the puzzle pieces together. He puts the puzzle together for me in a way that I can understand. So he presents some information and uses the flashback to put this information in context. I feel like that's a very effective use of flashback in my novel.